In the heart of Reno, Nevada, where the sun set behind the rugged mountains, a young girl named Maya Holloway learned the harsh lessons of survival. From a tender age, she understood that love was not a sanctuary, but a ledger, and being useful was the currency her family traded in. Her childhood was steeped in muted tones of disappointment and expectation, where silence loomed larger than spoken words. It was a mundane evening when Maya first grasped the weight of this truth at the dinner table, a scene drenched in the aroma of overcooked pasta and the faint sound of flickering fluorescent lights. Her father, a man whose brow knitted into a frown at the slightest provocation, inquired about their soaring electric bill. Just as Maya opened her mouth to speak, her younger sister Nora, vibrant and needy, shrugged, placing the blame squarely on her tiny shoulders. "It wasn't my fault. I needed the heater," she declared, her innocent voice slicing through the tension. Their mother leapt to Nora's defense, her words like a shield. "Don't make a big deal out of it," she said, her gaze darting toward Maya, the unspoken question pressing against the air. When their father turned his steely eyes to her, a chill wrapped around Maya's heart. "And you? What did you do this time?" he asked, and without a moment's hesitation, she nodded. That simple gesture sealed her fate, teaching her that taking blame was far easier than claiming her rightful space. As the years unfurled, the fabric of their family life grew tighter, woven with the threads of unspoken rules and expectations. Nora blossomed, her emotions dictating the atmosphere of their home, while Maya became the shadow, easy, low maintenance, always preparing for the storm. She learned to navigate the delicate waters of family dynamics, anticipating needs before they even arose, earning praise that felt starkly hollow. By 12, Maya was packing her own lunches, and by 14 she found solace in an after-school job at a dry cleaner. Her parents claimed it would teach her responsibility, but it imparted a more profound lesson. No one was coming to help her. The meager paycheck slipped through her fingers like sand, swallowed by the ever-growing list of necessities that Nora seemed blissfully unaware of. As Maya juggled school supplies and bus passes, Nora basked in a world of new clothes and summer camps. At 17, after years of toil, Maya finally purchased an old Ford Focus, its cracked leather seats echoing the weariness of her soul. She stood in the driveway, heart racing, waiting for someone, anyone, to acknowledge her small victory. But the house remained silent, a hollow monument to her solitary achievements. When her family surprised Nora with a glistening new SUV upon her graduation, Maya clapped along with the neighbors, hiding the ache that blossomed within her. Time marched forward, and as she graduated from community college, Maya had long since learned to survive without expectations. She landed a steady job as a payroll assistant and moved into a cramped apartment filled with second-hand furniture, a space that echoed with her own breath. But then came the calls, urgent, desperate pleas from her family, each framed as an emergency. A missed mortgage payment, a sudden medical bill, a car repair. Each time, Maya felt a knot tighten in her stomach, but she sent the money anyway, her mother's voice ringing in her ears. "Thank you, sweetheart. I knew we could count on you." The cycle continued, transforming into a routine of monthly transfers, reminiscent of a puppet dance, where Maya was bound by invisible strings. She was reminded repeatedly of her family's sacrifices, while her own needs faded into the background. 7 long years passed, a blur of self-denial, dreams deferred, and diminished hopes. She stopped traveling, stopped dreaming, all while her family's demands expanded into a gaping maw that devoured her spirit. At 32, Maya met Elliot Reed, quiet, observant, and a gentle soul who noticed the tightness in her shoulders when her phone rang. They began their courtship, and as love blossomed, Elliot asked questions that sliced through the fog of her existence. "Do they ever ask how you're doing?" he inquired one night, his voice laced with concern. Maya laughed off his question, but inside, she was struck by the truth of it. They never did. And then came the day of reckoning. Curiosity, or perhaps exhaustion, propelled her to tally the years of sacrifices. Together they scrolled through bank statements, the total climbing higher than she had ever imagined. $261,000, a staggering number that stole her breath. In that moment, Maya felt hollow, a cacophony of laughter and anguish spilling from her lips, as she realized she hadn't been helping them, she'd been funding them. That night tears streamed down her face, not just for the lost money, but for the stark realization of her family's love being a currency of transaction. A dream, long buried, resurfaced. Opening the small night cafe, a haven for lost souls, a place where gentle spirits could find solace. But when she shared this dream with her family, laughter erupted, dismissing her aspirations like old news. When Nora announced her engagement, Maya found herself cornered, compelled to contribute an outrageous sum of $18,000. The silence that followed her hesitant refusal was colder than any accusation of selfishness. In a moment of defiance, she sent $12,000, the money she had saved for herself. Elliot proposed soon after, presenting a ring made from her grandmother's stone, a symbol of hope that brought fresh tears to her eyes. As the wedding approached, a cold call from her parents shattered any lingering illusions. They would not attend. Nora had planned something else that weekend. Maya hung up, enveloped in silence, and in that stillness, she found her strength. She stopped sending money, and the messages that followed transformed into venomous threats, guilt-laden accusations. Maya blocked them all, reclaiming her peace. A year later, she opened Midnight Haven Cafe, a dream realized against the backdrop of her past. On opening day, her parents uninvited strolled through the doors, demanding money as if nothing had changed. In that moment of confrontation, Maya handed them printed statements of every transfer, every sacrifice, a testament to her resilience. The cafe fell silent, her family left without the apology she had once yearned for. That evening, with trembling hands, she stood behind the counter, Elliot beside her, a steady presence. When she learned she was pregnant, tears streamed down her face, not from fear, but from the relief of finally breaking free. Maya Holloway had discovered the strength to carve her own path, transforming her silence into a symphony of her own making.